The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good day, Bermuda, supported by Pete's House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert, and we want to thank you for getting up this early with us. It is the day after Duffy Day. Jacky, how are you feeling on this Tuesday morning? You had a day off, an action day off yesterday.
Well, you saw my tweet at 5:30 in the morning.
That's what I wanted to say that.
I tried so hard to sleep in. Like, I woke up and I was just like, all right, let me do my routine. Went, used the bathroom, made my cup of tea, sat, drank my tea, sat. I'm like, okay, at some point you're going to start to relax and be tired. And then I got back into bed and I probably slept till about 6:30. So another like 20 minutes because by the time I had my tea and all that other stuff and got back into bed, it was definitely closer to 6. So I want to say I gave up at 6:30. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, up.
I'm just gonna be up, and I went to sleep early yesterday. Though I think I went to sleep at like 8:30. Never mind, that's not early. That's my regular bedtime.
I'm not going to talk about. Okay, sure.
I was gonna say it. I'm like, Ty's gonna be like, that's what how you guys sleep.
Indeed. Well, as y'all can see, Jacky and I are ready to bring you some feel good vibes this morning. So make sure if you haven't already, share today's episode with your circle. Take a minute and share the link for those of you watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and drop the link in your favorite WhatsApp group chat, and to all of our tweets over there on Twitter. Make sure you retweet it, or you could tweet it. Same difference, I guess. Mm-hmm. Because Jacky always says this, sharing is caring, and we want to remind you that it is caring, y'all. It's the day after Duffy. It's a short week for us. And so we're going to transition to our feel good warm up. Now, today we're talking about tennis. Finally, for those of you that have been wanting to see, I have the evidence of myself playing tennis with Jacky. So we're going to be discussing some of the best tips anyone looking to play tennis should keep in mind if they want to play like a pro. We're probably going to analyze and critique some of my lack of technique, but we'll definitely get into that a little bit later on. Our feel good vibe of the day is joke time with Jacky. So if you want to laugh, make sure you stick around for that later on. Now, as you mentioned, yesterday was a holiday, so you didn't see Jacky and I yesterday live, but we're back and we want to know, what did you get up to this weekend? So our feel good warm up is simply, my weekend was blank because blank. So fill in the blank in the comments. Let us know what you did this weekend. I see we have Sean Smith. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. And I see we have Karen Simmons as well. Good morning to you. And clearly Mike was ready. Mike was ready for the tennis talk. But before we get into that, Jack, your weekend, how was it? And what did you do?
It was good. I went to lunch on Friday and ended up bumping into my sister, which is, I know people was just like, no, but like, I didn't know that she was. I went to lunch in a restaurant that's in her company building.
Oh, got you. Mm-hmm.
So I saw one of her colleagues, and I was just like, oh, and he's just like, hey, what you doing? I was just like, lunch, gotta eat. And then he's just like, oh, your sister's in the building. I'm like, you're kidding. So then he calls her and she came down, and then we ended up having lunch and a few drinks and just caught up. And
so you were going to lunch by yourself?
Well, I know the bartender and I dragged one other friend, but yeah, I mean, I would have gone by myself. I enjoy going places by myself and sitting, and I people watch so hard.
So So, Bermudian audience, let us know. Fill in the blanks. What did you get into this weekend? So, Jacky, Friday you did lunch.
Mm-hmm.
What about Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday, Florida Day, Duffy Days, I like to call it.
Saturday.
She forgets already. I'll go ahead if you need time to think about it.
I know that Sunday I was Saturday was my mom's birthday, so we cooked and we had food at the house because I was expecting like this whole it was just the family bubble that hung out and ate for my mom's, and then we did the same thing the next day. Had a little bit of cake, what was left, and then it was a chill weekend. I enjoyed it. It was quiet.
Good. That's good. And what did you do for your nephew's birthday? Or was it today?
My youngest nephew is today. Liam's birthday is today. Avery's birthday was yesterday, and he had a fun castle and
that's fun
and ham. So yeah, that was fun and funny
at the same time.
Because you could watch it's fun watching kids get like super excited and then they crash and it's like ah! So you're just watching them like this kid is so entertaining. But it was a good time. How about yourself? What did you do? We're always talking about me.
But because we start with you, I kind of come back with it. I kind of forget because the audience comes together.
Exactly.
But my weekend was also kind of chill. I did not do much on Friday evening. I did a yoga session on Friday evening, a virtual one. Saturday I went on to get my locks done. So I had an appointment on Saturday. I did kick it for a little bit, trying to wait until the afternoon ferry because I don't really like to catch the bus. So I was waiting for the afternoon ferry because it stops at like 11 on the weekends and then kicks back up at 3. So I did spend a bit of time in my sister's store for a little bit.
I didn't realize it was such a big gap for ferries.
Well, for my ferry, I don't know about the Dockyard ferry, but for the lower ferry, it does stop. And they switched it because Saturday and Sunday used to actually have 2 separate schedules, but they now have the same schedule because they reduced the schedule during the week. So during the week, it actually ends at 9. So the last ferry in the morning is at 9 and picks back up at 3. Yeah. So Sunday was cool, chill. By the time I came back home, I just relaxed. I finished the Hip Hop Evolution. So like I binged that thing over the weekend. So yesterday I finished it up. Sunday I was watching it. Sunday I did a family walk. If y'all are trying to take children that are under the age of 7 on a family walk and you need a stroller, do not go to the Hog Bay Park area situation. No. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Like absolutely not.
They have to walk that trail. Yeah. That is a walk on your own trail, or like you're gonna have to get on my shoulders when you get tired. But you're 7. Well, how young?
So that's why I say 7 and up, because the ones we hit, they were definitely under 5. Like I don't remember their exact ages, but yes, I had to put one on my back because I was like, look, girl, like you're not like they're no longer walking, like you're pulling them to walk. So like you're putting a little bit of extra effort to like get them to come along. Sis,
it's a lot.
We got time for this. And she had on her gumbe shoes, and the gumbe shoes didn't have grip. And if you know what gumbe shoes are, the Converse. So she just had on her gumbe shoes, and they were not trail.
It's crazy that you call them gumbe shoes because I call them
gumbe shoes. She called them gumbe shoes.
I still call them bibbers.
I do as well, but she called them gumbe shoes. So like when you talk about her shoes, you gotta say gumbe shoes. Otherwise, she don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I get that. I thought you was calling them gumbe shoes. I'm like, yeah, but wait, that's not your generation.
That's her generation. So, but she listen, gumbe shoes, they did her justice, I guess, towards the end. We ended up dancing at the end of the walk after food or whatever. So that worked out later on in the end. But it looks like Sean Smith said his weekend was a quiet one. He is pissed off that his team lost. And to top it off, I caught a slight haircut. Well, we hope you feel better. The team is Man United. I was going to say Man U. Okay, good. So that's your team, right?
I didn't watch. I just, what was I doing that I didn't watch? Was
the game on Saturday?
I think I was working at that point and then running around. So like later on, I went to check and I actually went to my WhatsApp statuses because most of the people that are on my WhatsApp like
were updating.
So I checked and it was like, I knew we lost when I saw all the profanity that was coming on the statuses. I'm like, yeah. Okay. I'm not even gonna go back to try and watch any replays or stuff like that, because if these lads in it, yeah, like why am I gonna watch us lose? It's not like it's live. I already know we lost.
Why do I want to put myself through that heartbreak?
I feel like the replays are for the coaches and the team. Like, all right, we lost. Sit down. Punishment. We're watching this. We're gonna watch ourselves lose, and you're gonna have to tell me how we're gonna fix it next time. Like, I don't know if they like do. How often do they do replays and watch themselves?
I mean, I think they do. So often, like just from my experience, they do watch the playback to kind of see where they did well, where they could do better, as well as to watch how they played against the other team, learn their defense or whatever, and their offense, to come up with better plays. So I do think they do it. Now, how frequent they do it, like how long is it, like punishment, or is it actively like we're analyzing it? Yet to be seen. But I definitely know at least the team management, that people that are coming up to plays and stuff like that. Wow, football's a little different, I would reckon. Like our football, no, that's probably seen, because do they have? I don't think they do have players. Like they have they have players. So yes, I would assume that they watch the games back. But then at that level, when you get paid that much, you're kind of like, you're really trying to make me watch this because we lost. I should just learn from it.
Yes, because I want you, like, I wouldn't make you watch it again if you can come and be like, I'm like tennis. I come back, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly where I messed up. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. She doesn't like her backhand. Why didn't I, keep attacking her backhand? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? So if I sit down and I do that, you ain't got to make me watch it again. But if I walk off and I'm nonchalant, oh, you think this is a joke? Okay, you know what? Sit down and you're gonna watch. I need you to. You see this? This is what we're not gonna do anymore. You see this part? Look, hold on. Let me rewind it. This part. Yes, Coach Jacky. No. This part. Like, I want you to get as irritated and disappointed as me, so that it never happens again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ignite that fire, that drive to make you a better player.
Well, then in that scenario, then that sounds about right. We're going to take a quick commercial break because we've been asked about this over and over, and it's coming. I have the evidence of myself playing tennis with Jacky, and she's going to be sharing all of the tips to help myself and anyone else that wants to play tennis like a pro. So make sure you do not go anywhere. Jacky and I will be right back.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. And if you're just joining us, we are getting ready to talk about our feel-good topic of the day, which is tips for playing tennis like a pro. We're going to be discussing the best tips that anyone who is looking to play tennis should keep in mind if they want to play tennis like a pro. But before we start all that, we're going to take a quick look at one of the clips from my experience with tennis with Jacky. So give this a watch. Let us know in the comments what you think of it. I don't know how long it is. I actually haven't even watched them, so I don't even know what.
Wait, do they still have some? Because I don't know what we was talking about.
I think they do, but I can mute it, I reckon.
I don't know.
I'll mute it. We'll see what this gives. We'll start with one. We'll see what this is. Take a listen. Well, we'll just watch. Okay, I don't know. I can bring out Jacky and I. Okay, what am I doing here, Jacky? Because I forget.
Okay, so this drill is called bounce ups, right? So we start off with basic hand-eye coordination drills. This allows you to identify how close or how far away you should have the ball. It just gets your timing down. So most people that start off with this, they're like, oh, this is so easy. And then they start doing it and they're like, oh, this is a little bit more difficult, because most people, they don't realize wherever your strings are facing, that's cute. Wherever your strings are facing, that's where the ball is going to go, and that your palm and your strings match when you're actually holding the racket majority of the time. So this allows you to get your, how they say sea legs? Tennis legs.
Okay.
All about timing.
We'll talk about my tennis legs a little bit later on. So the first question, or the first fill in the blank I want to get the audience to respond to is the last time I played tennis was. So let us know the last time that you played tennis. And I would have to say that that experience with Jacky, so as you were talking about, like, you know, that first little exercise we did, my adult mind was definitely like, yeah, this is simple, boss. So like, what is she asking me to do? And then I did it. And I was just like,
Yeah.
oh.
So most coaches will do it as a way to gauge your abilities, like how you control your arms, like how athletically inclined you are. Because some people, they can play football and stuff like that. When it comes to tennis, like controlling their upper body is a little different. So this just gives you an idea of what we can start with and how we build upon it.
Okay, because I was like, I did figure that it was kind of like, you know, an assessment situation. Like, let's see how good or how bad she is. And then when I did it, I was like, okay, you kind of get into the groove. You're like, all right, I can do this. This isn't so bad. Like, it's like, I got this. I'm not as great as I think I am, but I'm not terrible.
Yeah, because you'd be surprised how many people come. They're just like, oh, I used to play tennis all the time back in the day, but they had no real structure. So this allows me to see, like, okay, oh, you've played tennis. Because there's been times where I'm like, all right, let's rally, and they don't know what the term rally means, and they can't hit the ball across the net. So it's good, you know, hitting the ball back and forth, passing the ball back and forth with your partner. So we'll do stuff like that, and they whack the ball, and I'm like, okay, let's work on some control so you can understand how hard and how soft to hit the ball. It's a gauger for you, it's a gauger for me, and then everybody can, you know, gradually progress through the lesson.
Okay, so we have some answers to the fill in the blanks. Looks like Michael Anthony Mustin says sometime this year was the last time he played tennis because his shoulder is injured.
I want to say Easter he played.
Oh man. So like almost the entire rest of the year. That sucks. So like with shoulder injuries, how long do they take to, like, you know, heal so that you can kind of at least start to get
it depends on the person.
Tennis? Okay.
Well, it depends on how badly you're injured, and then it depends on the person. So if you've completely, like on your rotator cuff, sometimes you actually need surgery and you haven't gone in and gotten it proper analyzed. So you could think that you just strained your arm and you could just keep irritating it or just keep becoming inflamed. So it's always best if you think you have like a slight injury just to go get it checked. I always wait like maybe 2 or 3 days because I'm still so active. Just to let the swelling go down. I ice it, you know, the compact heat ice, stretch and stuff like that. If it's still irritating me, if I go to hit a ball and it's still irritating me, then I'll take a couple weeks off. I'm not ambidextrous, but I've learned to teach and play with my left hand. Like self-taught, just playing around and stuff like that. So I'll just switch arms and go about my business. But you should always get it checked just to make sure it's nothing that needs surgery.
Got you. So it looks like Michael said he actually did have surgery, so he has to be smart when it hurts. Okay, that makes sense. I get it.
So he already knows his limits.
He does.
But you know, some men don't listen to the limits. So they're like, I can hit that ball. You get excited, whack, and you're like, because I've done it. I've cracked a ball that I know I wasn't warm enough to hit, and I've been like, yeah, that's gonna hurt tomorrow.
So I want to get back to the comments. Karen Simmons says 11 years ago was the last time she played tennis. And Sean Smith says early 20s. I used to play between shifts when I worked at South P. Interesting. Oh. That is so interesting. Like, because when you think about, like, you know, paying the hotel, like, I think that's pretty dope to have access to certain things and be able to, like, pick up a skill set or be able to do something, like you said, in between shifts. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So Karen, we're going to get you back out on court. And Sean, what do you know what year that was? Because my mom Mark Cordero used to run Southampton Princess back when I was growing up. So I might have been running around your feet many years down there. And when I say running around your feet, like it was up until I was about 12 that I used to go down there and knock around. But I also went down there. I was at any tennis facility, to be honest. I don't know why I'm acting like that.
Like you only had one specific one that you would always
Thank you. I played everywhere. If somebody would be like, I'll be like, Dad, I want to play tennis. All right, I'll call see who you can play tennis against, and I'll just ride my bike around the island.
So we have a few comments coming in. It looks like Kathy Rogers says many years ago she was totally terrible at tennis, but she says she has a floppy wrist. So what is this? Like, is this a term that's like common for people to talk about? Like, do I have a floppy wrist? What is this?
some people describe a floppy wrist as somebody like should probably be Kathy, you're probably very good at squash because some people like snap their wrist and they
okay.
There's too much movement. Like you still have to have a certain amount of stiffness, like and control of your wrist. But nobody's terrible at tennis. People just need more practice and structure. I could break it all the way down for you and still make you great. Don't worry.
That's awesome. It looks like that's her in term, but apparently it's a term that makes sense. So thank you for using that term because I was like, wait, isn't your wrist supposed to be like, you know, you're supposed to be able to move it, but okay, I get it. That makes sense. That makes sense.
It might just be like I said, it probably has too much movement.
Got you. So I actually want to come back to this comment from Karen Simmons. She said she would love to get back into tennis, so she's definitely gonna come back, Jack. But her body won't cooperate. And also when she lost to her daughter, her daughter was 10 years old and her spirits were crushed. So a little bit of ego there.
Yeah, I get that. I remember I had trained this girl forever. And then I played her at the Coral Beach tournament. She must have just been 16. I think she's 19 now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a few years ago. And it's mixed feelings because I was so proud that she beat me. But I was like, hold on. You're not supposed to beat me, but I'm so proud. Like I was playing points and she was smacking balls and hitting winners. I'm like, that's what we've been training for. Like that's the shot. And I'm like, hold on, why am I coaching you?
I'm supposed
to be playing you. And so excited. When I came out the court, everybody was laughing. Like, how was that? I'm like, it was a struggle because I'm her clap. I'm like, that's a great shot, Kales. And she's like, thanks. Not Kayla Cross, Kayla May.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, I beat you. I'm like, yeah, it'll probably never happen again.
Absolutely.
But I was so distracted and so proud. Like I hugged her and she, we had our moment. And her mom was just like, it's so funny because anybody else should be irate. Like, but you're just proud. She was the next generation. I was like, I can retire from representing Bermuda in certain divisions.
Yeah.
I can pass the torch now. I'll still take the senior events, but I was able to pass the torch.
That is awesome. So I want to come to this comment from Monica Dunson. She says, the last time I played tennis was tipsy tennis a couple of years ago. So I need to know more about this tipsy tennis experience. Like, is it like you start with, having an adult beverage and then like, you graduate, like if someone gets a point against you, like you take an extra adult beverage, like what are the rules for tipsy tennis? I don't think I'm ready to play tipsy tennis yet, but I would like to learn a little bit more about tipsy tennis. So Monica and Jacky, let us know what about this tipsy tennis situation.
So it happens down South P. I know pre-spike, like our recent spike, it was every Thursday, like a happy hour thing from 5:30. I went to one this year and it's so much fun. So
it's like a thing. I thought it was like friends getting together.
Nope, it's a thing. So they have tipsy bartenders and everything. And I know they did it at Tennis Stadium once, but the atmosphere, and I don't know how South P is going to do it because I know they were removing the tennis court, so it would have to move somewhere else.
Got you.
But you have a shot, or you have you have a drink, you have a beverage, and then it's a round robin. So everybody plays everybody in a different groups, and then you play off for number one or whatever. I remember playing it. I think it was actually that year. I remember getting called onto the court, and I was like, "All right." So they had one of our national players, so they thought it was only right that I could have one of me, me as a national player on. And I was like, "All right, I could do this," and I didn't realize I had so much to drink because I still felt really sober. And so I took my shades off, and I was like, "Oh, one, it's bright, and two, I actually feel really nice." We won, but it was a challenge. I was just like, yeah. And I played with a little racket. I played with Kayla. And I had a little racket, a junior racket, because there are different sizes.
I actually want to get into that. So actually, before we do that, it looks like Michael has some faith in me. He says I'm ready for tipsy tennis. So we'll definitely see about that. Jack is going to give us more information about that. But you asked Sean Smith a question around the time that he was playing at South P, and he says you want him to age himself, but he said it was the early '90s. So you probably were up there.
I was
when he was playing, or probably when he was practicing between shifts his tennis swing. I love it.
I was probably there. I love tennis. Like I think that everybody should play, and I don't mean that in let's get convert everybody. But
all the tennis players, all the time.
But you should stick to your level. Like, find people that are your level and just get out and have fun. I've seen people where I'm just like, hey, I see you've lost all your balls. Here's a bag. And I've, given them balls that are old that are purposely lost a lot of their pressure, so that they have a slower bounce. Tennis balls are fast.
All right, because that's what I wanted to get into. I don't know. I'm actually gonna we're gonna show some more of my experience with Jacky as my coach. So I'm gonna play that now, Jack. But I also want you to talk about because when we played, so I'm gonna bring this in. This is the leg we're talking about. So when we first started, I had it felt like a toddler's ball. I ain't gonna lie. It was like a really big ball, and I was like, does she think I'm that bad?
No, I start everybody off with that ball. Even when I rally with my dad, to warm up, I start with those oversized, less pressurized balls, because they absorb more of your power, so it's easier for you and your partner to control. Because most people, when they first start off, they don't realize their strength, and it's hard to control it. So they're just letting their arm go, and they're just whacking it versus slowing down their swing. A lot of people think that a short, fast swing still equates to a softball, but no, it's still hard. You're still transferring that 50-mile-an-hour swing into that ball, so that ball's going to fly, whereas this ball will absorb some of that versus the more pressurized regular tennis balls will do exactly what you're doing. So if you whack it as hard as you can and your strings are facing the sky, that ball is gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. So you have the spinner ball, which is actually a sponge ball. Okay. It's much bigger. It's actually about this size, and it's foam. So it has a high bounce, but it doesn't go as far because, it just went. It's like hitting a sponge, like a scrubbing sponge, a bubble sponge. Got you. So it's the same type of foamy feeling, but it's in a ball shape. So, it bounces and it moves. Then you move into the other ball that you had, the red ball. So it's oversized. And then you have orange dot, which is the same size as a regular tennis ball. But it's not the same weight. It's lighter, and slowly you build up more and more pressure.
Okay, so it's more pressure than becomes that ball that I hear. Got you.
Yeah, so the bounce becomes more and more true.
Okay, got you.
So you could fake it with somebody that can't control their power in their arm yet with the other balls, and they could feel like, oh, I'm actually doing something. So it's encouraging, and then they get a rhythm with that, and then you slowly graduate to the next ball. So you graduated to the next ball almost immediately, because I was just like, oh, she can handle this.
I ain't gonna front, yo. I was like, is this how it all goes? Do you have to stop the toddler ball because I don't know where you are, so I'm just gonna make sure. Okay.
You don't have to, but I do advise coaches to do that because it builds confidence, and when somebody feels confident, they're having fun.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't feel you're insecure, you're getting frustrated, that there's nothing fun about being frustrated. So this allows you to feel good about yourself, and you're like, okay, what's next?
I was ready for that. So I was definitely ready for that. We're gonna come back to Too Cool Tennis. Don't you worry. Jacky and I are. I actually want to bring in some comments, Jacky, because you mentioned when you played against Kayla Ming, and it looks like Karen Simmons' daughter saw you there. So she says, Jacky, my daughter was so amazed by your talent when you played tennis against Kayla Ming. So when you played against Kayla, was that a tournament or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just y'all were. How we were doing a training session, but y'all were actually playing against each other.
No, I do practice matches, but I usually end up doing practice matches against some of the guys.
Okay.
And it's not even just to the girls, but most of the girls have mostly female tennis players on island have regular jobs. Okay. Traditional jobs, whereas a lot of the male players are tennis coaches. So Gavin Mann is a tennis coach, Tariq is a tennis coach, Tariq Summers is a tennis coach, Javon Ritter, tennis coach. So a lot of the males have more flexible jobs, James Collinson. So it was easier to be like, hey, you guys want to hit during lunch? Because it's not a traditional schedule, so it was easier. But I mean,
okay, I was just wondering because I thought, maybe I missed when you said it, but I was like, wait, did they just practice together, or but then when Karen said that her daughter, so you're like, what? Is this a practice match that everyone just gets the invite to? How does this work? So
And there was a tournament, and everybody's invited to tournaments. We try and get a lot of people to come out and spectate because it's free and it's exciting. Like some of the tennis, you're just like, how are these guys' hands so good? I'm talking about like volleying, keeping the ball off the ground with each other. They're trying to smack each other, hit the ball at each other, like to finish the point. Because sometimes you can't go around them to finish the point, so sometimes you have to go through the person, and the hands are just there. Next tournament, I'll take you with me, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but I actually want to get to this comment from Wyland. He says, I won a free lesson last year from Jacky that I haven't used. I wonder if it has expired. So, Jacky, has his free lesson expired?
No, it's still sitting right now. I was actually going to tweet about it the other day. I'm like, Milo won a free tennis lesson and he hasn't used it for him or his daughter. Like it could be both of you at the same time, but like use it.
You're welcome, Milo. It hasn't expired.
Like you have a free $100. Like what are you doing?
We're gonna put an expiration on it though, because clearly Too Cool Tennis is a thing that everyone's gonna get a part of. So by this time next year, if you and your daughter haven't done this tennis lesson, this free lesson, we are going to have some problems. We'll just put it out there. So you got from now until October 2022 to sort it out. I reckon you're going to do it before then, but just in case, we're going to give you a year because, you know, it's a whole panorama.
Another year.
Because 2020 and 2021 are like technically 1 year.
Yeah, you're right.
So we understand you get an extra year, but we're gonna check in on you now every month or every couple of months. We're gonna be like, did he do it? And if you didn't do it, sir,
we're gonna put Mike on him. We're gonna put Mike on him.
Yeah, he got me into doing my tennis. And so I actually want to bring in this last clip of Jacky and I doing Too Cool Tennis. I don't know what this one is. Hopefully it has the leg in it too. So, oh yeah, her guess. So Jack, let's talk about this leg situation.
I had to remember I asked him like, do you bowl? Because that's the bowling leg. Like it comes behind.
I'm gonna play it again just so that y'all can appreciate this leg situation. Cause every time I would do the thing with Jacky, like so every time I'm doing like my bounce swing, like my leg would legitimately just go behind me, and Jack is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What you tell me? Bounce, swing." Like, wait, what?
All I kept saying was like, "But just drag your toe behind the other, like just drag your foot normal."
Like,
and it's just like I can't control it. It's just, I think you did it proper once. He's like, "I did it," and then I went right back, and I'm like, "At least we got one."
We did get one, and I think I do have the footage, but the video was taking a little long for me to download it. So, but we'll definitely put it on social media. But legit, guys, I did not realize I was doing it until Jacky asked me, what was I doing? I was just like, I thought I was doing bounce, swing. And like how Jacky, because I saw when Jacky did it, she didn't move her legs. So in my mind, that's exactly what I'm doing. And then she's like, Terry, why are you keeping me a leg? I was like, I don't know.
And I was so calm about it because, and it's not a big deal, but it kind of is at the same time, because when you hit a ball, you want to make sure that your weight transfer goes into the ball, but you can't transfer your weight into the ball if your leg is swinging back at that angle, because that means when you rotate your body, it's rotating and moving away from the ball. So your percentage for you mishitting the ball becomes greater. You changing and pulling the ball to your left when you're dragging your body to the left becomes greater. So the chances of the ball going in, like if that's where you want the ball to go and that's how you move and get the ball to go where you want it to go, then that's fine. But if you want a true direction, so if you want to hit it down the line, which is straight, you won't be able to do that with that footwork. And
the Too Cool Tennis version, so I realized when I became more aware of my leg moving that it wasn't going where I thought it was going. Like where in my mind I was like, that's where I wanted to go. It was not going there, and then I realized it was the leg was the problem. So I was like, okay. Listen, that was my first session, and I promise you on my second session my leg's probably gonna do the exact same thing, but over time we're gonna get it so that my leg doesn't do that, because I do boo. So that is like my boomer stance, I guess you could say, but it is what it is. I have this comment from Michael Anthony Mustin. He says, I'm told MTM, I don't know what that is having a tournament soon. I think Too Cool Tennis should sign up Red Bull. What is MTM and what is Red Bull?
I was gonna sign her.
She was gonna sign me up.
I was gonna sign you up and be like, "Come on, Terri, I'm picking you up. We're gonna go watch some tennis." And then
and she would have told me I was watching too.
Mm-hmm. It's all right, Mike. We'll get her up there. But yes, I want to sign you up for it because it's fun. It's just a fun way to learn how. And the scoring's easy. It's just like 1.2. Mendes Tennis Management. So Gavin Mendes' tennis company. Like how mine is LIT. His is MTM.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you're gonna.
When is that? Wait. You wait. What time?
I will send you I'll send you the information, but I think it's I want to say it's November.
Hey, well, let me sign myself up for some more lessons. You are trying to put me out there. I ain't got no. I only done one lesson, y'all. I'll be out there smacking him all over. Looking like a hot mess, but I will definitely try it. We'll definitely get the information, and I will definitely get Jacky to sign me up because
yes.
If she don't sign me up, I can't sign up.
Well, I'm signing myself up for my events.
Okay, see that? Perfect. So I will definitely be there in the building. Make sure you come out because it's free to spectate apparently. And on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be back to get your thoughts on today's episode as well as get ready for our Feel Good Wind Down, which is Joke Time with Jacky. If you want to laugh to get your morning started or to continue to get your morning started, make sure you stick around for that.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by P-Towels and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. If you're watching us on Facebook, make sure you give us a reaction to let us know what you thought of today's episode. For those of you on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe before the end of the episode. And to all of our tweets over there on Twitter, make sure you run up those hearts in the comments. Let us know what you thought of today's conversation. Jacky was sharing all the tips. Well, I don't even think she shared all of them with y'all yet. But she shared a good bit of tips after analyzing. So we analyzed my game day footage.
After talking about it?
That was funny because that wasn't the intention, but it worked.
Not at all.
It worked. So what did y'all think of the Tuku tennis experience? Let us know in the comments. I see we have some questions coming in and some comments coming in. Michael says, to me coming to MTM's tournament he'll be the umpire for the match if he can. Okay.
Well, that's good. Make sure he does it because a lot of people lose track of the score and they're just like, wait, where are we? And the match goes way longer than it's supposed to.
Me, I'll forget.
So just let him do it. And that's another tip. That's a quick tip. You call the score after every point and before every point starts. So if you lose the point, you're just like, all right, love one. You always want to try and call the server score first. Okay.
Okay, so if I'm serving first and I didn't get the point,
you call your score
I say
first.
Love one.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so Karen has a question. She said, who would Terri be playing the Red Bull tennis games? Karen, I don't know.
Other Red Bull players. So you have grown adults, you have kids. It's like a mixed group. So you have some moms of the tennis players and they want to get out and play, but they're not at the level to compete against like myself and everybody else. So there's different divisions. So you have Red Bull, you have Green Bull, and then you have regular.
Okay, so Red Bull, but I can play against a kid.
Yeah, but don't think like that.
Oh Lord.
Because you got either play against a really good Red Bull kid or a really beginner. But we don't look like in tennis. We don't look to see people's age. Like people will be like people that have heard of my father but didn't know who he was. Mm-hmm. They played against him in the overs versus unders, which is over 30s versus under 30s, and the young bucks will walk on, and then they'd lose, and they're all upset, and the parents are just like, "You can't be upset. That's the Mr. Lambert." Like. Like, and then they're like, oh, they'll come up to Mr. Lambert. I didn't realize it was you. Like, you're really good. It's so cute. Like, I just sat there and I watched everybody interacting that were younger, so they didn't actually know who he was. And then when they realized, oh, that's like the great, like, the
Mr. Lambert. I get it. Totally get
it. And Gavin and Javon always talk highly. So you hear about him, but you don't. It's like, He's like a ghost, I guess you could say, legend that just appears every so often.
Behind these scenes. So before we get into our feel good vibe of the day, I want to bring in this comment from Sean Smith. He says, nice to take a trip down memory lane. Plus, I remember ruining the tips of my sneakers from playing tennis, dragging my foot when reaching for the balls. So I'll take that
tennis sneakers. Tennis sneakers have like the front of it has a protected tip. I'm trying to think of what else has this, but it allows for you to drag your toe without ruining the whole sneaker. Like a running sneaker, it'll pull the lip piece down.
Got you. So I need tennis shoes before I play my tournament. Got it.
Yeah.
So Jacky, I'm ready for some jokes. I don't know if the audience is ready, but audience, if you are not, it's okay. Just make sure you drop some comments to react to Jacky's joke time. I'm ready, Jack. Throw them at me.
Which
already.
Which bear is the most condescending?
Which bear is the most condescending? Not the polar bear.
Close. Same type of color.
I don't know.
Panda. Duh. What noise does a witch's vehicle make? You know, because it's Halloween season.
Oh, broom.
Yes! Vroom, vroom.
Because I'm broom.
What do you call it when a group of apes start a business? Start a company.
When a group of apes start a company. I don't know.
Monkey business.
I don't know. I was gonna go through a gorilla, but I like that. Monkey business. Looks like Sean Smith enjoys your jokes as well. We hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the Day has you ready to make it a great one. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza's and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert, and we trust we'll see you tomorrow for more Feel Good conversations. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.